The Chinese didn't come with guns. They came with blueprints. No soldiers, no sirens, just signatures, steel and silence. First, they paved the roads, then they built the skyscrapers, filled the ports, sold the cars, and claimed the land. Piece by piece, the nation's future slipped through ink and handshakes. While the people fought to survive, the contracts carved their fate. While the nation clung to hope, its future was quietly signed away. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This is a careless and selfish approach of the Jamaican government. This is the moment. Deep within the heart of the Caribbean island Jamaica, a new power is quietly shaping the future. Let us uncover the hidden webs of influence, economic sway, and the slow surrender of sovereignty. Not seized by force, but meticulously orchestrated. It all started in 1972 with a single handshake. Jamaican Prime Minister Michael Manley of the PNP People's National Party made a daring move, officially opening diplomatic doors to the People's Republic of China. At the time, it was a bold, almost unthinkable gesture, a young post-colonial nation choosing to stand alongside a rising communist giant in the heat of the Cold War. In the beginning, it seemed purely symbolic. But history has proven otherwise. The silent takeover, how China quietly transformed Jamaica. Once just a distant, shadowy power, China was hardly more than a name whispered in trade talks and cultural exchanges. But by the 2000s, the game changed, and Highway 2000 was the first bold move. A colossal multi-million-dollar project funded and built by Chinese state-owned giants. It wasn't just about laying asphalt. It was a calculated investment, a strategic foothold in the heart of the Caribbean. Smooth roads, faster commutes, towering bridges, all signs of progress. But at what cost? As Jamaica sped forward on its brand new highways, a deeper, more complex relationship with Beijing had quietly taken root, transforming the island's destiny in ways few saw coming. But what they didn't tell you was in the fine print. Decades-long concessions, foreign tolls, and repayment plans that sank deeper into foreign debt. At first glance, it looked like progress. But who was really cashing in? Chinese firms flooded in, bringing their own workforce, engineers, and even the machinery, building walls of culture and language that kept them separate. Local Jamaicans? Hired in small numbers, often for lower-wage jobs, left watching as their land transformed with foreign hands. Imported labor, imported steel, imported profits, a development deal that felt more like a takeover. Jamaica's money wasn't just borrowed, it was taken. From the towering north-south highway to the heart of Kingston's revitalization, Chinese state-owned giants poured over $2.1 billion into the island between 2002 and 2020. But with every dollar came strings, contracts, control, and creeping influence. The roads were built, but who really owned the future they paved? Then the tide began to turn. It's not just about roads and skyscrapers anymore. Chinese influence has quietly woven itself into the very fabric of Jamaica's economy. Walk into any bustling wholesaler or plaza in Kingston, Montego Bay, or any major town, and you'll see it, aisles packed with Chinese imports. From hardware to household essentials, the shelves are dominated by low-cost, mass-produced Chinese goods. Local manufacturers, crushed by the price gap, have shuttered their doors. The port records? They tell a stark tale of a nation flooded with foreign goods. It's time for Jamaicans to reclaim their economic independence. China has become one of Jamaica's biggest trading partners, with imports from China skyrocketing since 2005. But this is a one-way street. China sells, and Jamaica buys. The auto market is a prime example, with brands like BYD, Chang'an, and Great Wall Motors flooding the island, undercutting Japanese giants with lower prices and flashy features. But the catch? Spare parts are a headache to find. Stuck paying premium prices at exclusive dealerships? It's a common trap. But it's not just cars. In 2017, the Jamaican government floated a plan to build a Chinatown in downtown Kingston, calling it a cultural boost for trade and community. But the backlash was fierce. To many Jamaicans, it felt like another bold move in a long line of Chinese overreach, disguised as multiculturalism. China's plan for a physical Chinatown in Jamaica may have been shelved, but its influence didn't fade, it evolved. scholarships for Jamaican students, medical equipment for hospitals, support for police departments, free Mandarin classes, and training for civil servants all flowed in, wrapped in the guise of generosity. But beneath this wave of goodwill lay a calculated strategy, influence disguised as friendship. By 2020, whispers of concern over China's deals in Jamaica were growing louder. Critics pointed to secretive contracts and sidelined local businesses. The government insisted these partnerships fueled progress, but many Jamaicans felt like mere bystanders in their own economy. Were these truly win-win deals, or was something deeper at play? As Chinese firms secured more major contracts in Jamaica, many questioned whether the playing field remained fair. Concerns also grew over long-term land leases, some stretching 50 years or more, sparking debates over sovereignty and economic control. In some instances, Chinese firms secured long-term control over Jamaica's ports and industrial zones, effectively locking these critical assets out of national reach for decades. On paper, the land remained Jamaican, but in reality, true control had slipped away. Behind layers of complex legal jargon, the true scale of foreign control slipped past the average Jamaican. So, how much influence is too much? How did a nation that once stood tall in its independence become so entangled? This wasn't a battle fought with tanks or bullets. It was a silent takeover, hidden in plain sight. Just quiet deals, secretive contracts, and growing debt. Some call it economic diplomacy, others see it as modern colonialism. Either way, one thing is clear: China is now a powerful force shaping Jamaica's economy, infrastructure, and future. And the people? They're starting to realize the full impact. Imagine a future where Jamaicans wake up in homes built by foreign companies, drive on roads managed from overseas, and shop in stores where the labels aren't even in their language. It won't seem strange, just normal. That's how it happens. Not with a bang, but a quiet turn of the lock when no one's looking. Now you see how it all begins. They sold it as development, roads, loans, secret handshakes. But the real story runs deeper. Who truly owns the land? Who controls it when a nation signs away its future for decades, just to clear a debt? This is more than just business. It's about sovereignty. It's time for Jamaicans to stand up, just like the fearless people of Burkina Faso in West Africa. Real sovereignty. Jamaica first. Jamaica, land for loan. As the fine print reveals, it seems less like investment and more like a sellout. Has Jamaica truly sold its soul, or have corrupt leaders sold out their own people? With China's influence growing and the government silent, who will stand for the people? Welcome to the hidden technique of the Chinese. The untold truth behind the Caribbean's third largest island. And this is just the beginning. We the people will stand against the Chinese like the people of Burkina Faso in West Africa. What did you think of today's video? If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for tuning in.